This presentation is brought to you by Arizona State University's Julianne Wrigley Global Institute of Sustainability and a generous investment by Julianne Wrigley.
What I want you to understand going forward is that we have the biggest opportunity that we've ever had for jobs, and here's why. Math. Not ideology on the left or the right, not sloganeering, math. You live on a country, in a world where there are 6.8 billion people right now. We will soon have 9 to 10 billion people. 10 billion people. Every one of them is going to want a car like you've got access to, a refrigerator like you've got access to, and an iPod. Every one of them. All of which require what? Energy. All of which requires energy. If you want to stay stuck on the technologies of the last century, which are finite and dangerous and dirty, you guarantee one thing: you're going to bake the planet. And if you don't believe in global warming, doesn't matter, because if you got an infinitely expanding level of demand and a finite supply that's dwindling, your prices are going to go what? Up. That's just basic. That's basic math. Law of supply and demand. Increasing demand, decreasing supply, increasing price. So you know, without knowing anything beyond those two facts, that the products of tomorrow are going to be in clean energy, are going to be in energy innovation. If you want the jobs of tomorrow, you've got to create the products of tomorrow. That's true for you as an individual, that's true for your country. If you want to have the jobs for tomorrow in your country, you've got to make the products of tomorrow in your country. And a big chunk of the products of tomorrow are going to be in energy innovation, period. That's not capitalism, that's not socialism, that's not red states, that's not blue states, that's not Republican, that's not Democrat, that's math, folks. That's math. And the reason, you got to ask yourself the question, that is so simple and straightforward. Who is it out there that's making it so complicated? And why are they making it so complicated? Why did they spend $500 million? Big oil and big coal spent $500 million, $500 million in this past year, not to give you jobs, not to fix your schools, not to help America on its feet, to stop a bill that would have made it more possible for you to be an energy innovator in your own country. Why did they do that? They do that because they love this country, because they love you, why are they doing that? That's the question that people on these campuses should be asking themselves, not because you're progressive or because you're conservative, because you should care about your country. The challenge that you've got right now is that people are using some tricky logic on your generation to make you think that if you care about America, you should be in only one political party and hate clean energy, which makes no sense. We have a Saudi Arabia of clean energy in America right now. A Saudi Arabia of solar power falling down on our country right now. Not just in the Sun Belt, but on rooftops across America. We have a Saudi Arabia of wind energy in our country right now. Not just in the Plain States, but off our coast and up near the Great Lakes area, a Saudi Arabia worth of wind and solar energy we could be tapping right now, and we're not doing it. And the great thing about it, if you think about it, if we had wind platforms out there in the Gulf, where we just had that catastrophe, if you had wind platforms out there, and something happened and one of those wind platforms fell over, you wouldn't have a massive wind slick, that would come along, I've never heard of a wind slick, messing up everything afterwards. You just have some wind turbines in the water, I've never heard of a sun spill, Gotta shut down the solar farm again. Damn sun spill, There's a smarter way to do this now. If you open the system up, right, and bring in competition and new technologies, right, you can actually tap America's resources. Now, I remember when I was growing up, we used to sing a song. which I guess now would be considered some sort of radical socialist anthem or something. But it was a song that we used to sing. I hate to admit this, maybe I'll be taken away. But the song was called America the Beautiful. America the Beautiful. I thought when we were growing up that we were supposed to be proud of America's beauty and that we had a patriotic duty to defend America's beauty from the clear cutters and the oil spillers and the despoilers. Okay? But we've got folks now in Appalachia who are being asked to blow up their grandmother's mountains to scrape the coal out so we can keep powering America in the same old way and protect the same old profits and keep out any innovation. How are they the patriots? How are you the anti-patriots when you're trying to defend America's beauty and say, no, we're gonna put windmills on those mountains, we're not gonna blow them up? How are you, the people who are defending America's beauty, willing to let yourself be pushed around and have your patriotism challenged? I think somebody is pulling something tricky on you. In fact, I think we should stop calling ourselves environmentalists and just call ourselves patriots defending our country's beauty and our country's resources, because that's who we are and that's what we're doing. We're not the ones who are letting multinational corporations come over here and corrupt government agencies like BP did, and then slag up our coastline and kill American workers and destroy American industries in tourism and fisheries. That's not us. We're not the ones defending the rights of multinational corporations to come over here and do this. And then what they'll tell you, see, I get a little bit excited about this sometimes, but what they'll tell you, well, we got to do that because we want America to be energy independent. We gotta be energy independent. Okay, that sounds good. I'm for that. But what does that have to do with a multinational corporation coming over here, drilling up our coastline, and then selling the oil anywhere in the world? If we were talking about a mom and pop oil company, right? If we were talking about, Mr. and Miss Smith's oil company that was drilling off our coastlines and selling oil to you only in America, well, then that would be energy independence. That's not what we got, folks. Again, math, supply and demand, global markets. We have multinational corporations that drill. They get all the gain, and we get all the pain. They drill that oil, they sell it wherever they want to. That's not energy independence. That's called a ripoff. Okay, it's called a ripoff. And so we keep falling for this kind of stuff, and in the meanwhile, we keep falling further behind.
This presentation is brought to you by Arizona State University's Julianne Wrigley Global Institute of Sustainability for educational and non-commercial use only.